Hello, we are live from Studio 415.
On today's show, you'll see what goes into the making of a Studio 415 show.
You'll hear about a couple of local events at the Botanical Gardens and the Fort Wayne Ballet.
And you'll hear why the story of a local facility that helps grieving children.
All of that and more coming up next.
I fell in love with the community, and I fell in love with the teacher. I fell in love with the craft.
Coming out to see the ballet as something that's completely brand new.
Oh, it would be so sad, but it is really such a rewarding experience.
Welcome to Studio 415's third live show this semester. I'm Evan Bushman.
And I'm Allie Butts. For 10 years, Studio 415 has brought Carroll many sunny days and friendly smiles. But have you ever wondered what goes into making unique packages and stories such as Commons Questions and Charger Challenge?
Studio 415 reporter Brendan Mullet reveals the step-by-step process that goes into making each and every show.
Thanks, Allie and Evan. Studio 415 in the TV program at Carroll High School recently earned second runner-up in the state of Indiana by the Indiana Association of School Broadcasters. This award was given in recognition of the hard work and excellent Studio 415 shows over the last year. In my story, you will see the passion and effort of the students who create Studio 415.
3, 2, 1. Take camera 2.
Studio 415, a new show that is watched every week in homeroom to allow students to hear different stories about events within the school as well as locally. The goal of Studio 415 every year is to clearly show and tell relatable content that the Carroll community would want to hear. Most students in the class are considered Radio and Television 2 students, which is a continuation of the previously taken class, Radio and Television 1. However, occasionally, seniors tend to come back for another year being a part of the weekly show and are considered a Radio and Television 3 student. Unlike other classes taken at Carroll, the curriculum for this course is mostly the same throughout the year. Each semester, the classroom is divided into 2 separate groups. Within these groups, students either pair up or work alone to create a package. How students create a package is to come up with an idea that they think would be interesting to tell. They then come up with questions and then conduct interviews from a variety of people from Carroll or around Fort Wayne. Along with that, students then look for B-roll or camera footage they think would help tell the story along with their script that they write themselves, which is said by a voiceover that they record over. After that comes the editing process where each group put their best portions of interviews and turn them into SOTs, or sound on tape, which helps tell the story they are trying to tell. Studio 415 reporter and Radio and Television 3 student Evan Bushman says that the way he goes into making a package isn't as one-dimensional as it sounds.
So when I go through the process of actually choosing a story, I try to find what I think would be most interesting for me to actually report on and also would be interesting for everyone else to hear about. So I combine those things into something that I can find to create.
Once each group finishes their monthly package, what comes next is putting it all together and making the show that is played in homeroom every week. Creating the show comes with a variety of jobs students must fill, including on-camera positions such as anchor and in-studio reporter who describe and present each story. But there is also a variety of off-camera positions such as director, who is in charge of all the positions and making sure the show runs smoothly, a tech director that controls all the technical transitions and switches the cameras, as well as a floor director who cues the anchor when they are supposed to speak. There are also many other important roles, like audio director, who controls the mics, and the teleprompter, which controls the script speed for the anchor to read each show. Radio and television teacher Bob Johnston says that this class is a great practice for his students to experience and try these different positions, as these roles are identical to the professional media world.
Almost every position that's at a professional TV station is represented at Studio 415. Behind the scenes, in front of the camera, my students get the opportunity to try everything that they want to do.
With the students having the freedom to pick what roles they want to do and try on show day, it gives them a chance to get out of their comfort zone and try something new. This could cause students to find a love or passion that they never thought they would know about themselves. Bushman expresses how trying something new made him more comfortable being on camera in front of the whole school.
I love being anchor. I think anchoring is my favorite thing. Because at first I wasn't comfortable being on camera in front of so many people, and then once I actually got to it, it ended up being my favorite thing. I just feel so myself when I'm out there.
With Studio 415 trying to be a reflection of a real live TV studio, the packages and stories that are created are expected to be as professional and presentable as regular news reporters would create. With that comes looking for little things that make a package great, like a good script that moves the story, along with framing an interview correctly. With Johnson having experience of being in the news world as being a reporter for the Channel 21 local news, Johnson has learned many skills and tips that he is happy to pass on to his students. Johnson hopes that the students take these points not just because he is a teacher, but because these are the requirements that are expected from him as a reporter himself.
I really hope the students see my past experience at a TV station as practical best practices for how we do news. I'm not teaching them something that I saw on CNN. I'm teaching them things that I was taught by professionals who were there before me and came after me.
The class of Studio 415 doesn't just teach lessons based on news and media. This class teaches multiple real-life skills that can help any student or teenager once they graduate. Studio 415 reporter Will Jameson says that Studio 415 has taught him that he doesn't have to do everything alone, and it's okay to ask for help when needed to make his work the best it can be.
So one of the things that I've learned from Studio 415 is that I can't do everything myself. I have to rely on others in order to get the product or the video that I want. It's not something that you can do by yourself. You can't rely on yourself throughout the entire process. It's a complete team effort, and you have to learn to become one of the team.
Not only does this class teach you how to work in a group to create the news of Carroll, it also teaches students the importance of how to interact with people. Bushman believes the biggest life skill this class has taught him is being around people and the right way to speak to them.
The biggest thing being the communication with other people and talking to people and all that sort of stuff. I feel like that will be really important no matter what career I'm going into, whether that be like a film career, a news career, whatever it is.
What makes a class like Radio and Television 2 so unique is you're never done learning. Whether it's trying something completely new, like how to be an anchor on camera, or perfecting one of your already learned skills like writing a script or editing a story. Jameson feels that what makes him want to come back for another year of Studio 415 is not only his passion for the class, but his drive and motivation to improve next year as a Radio and Television 3 student.
I can become such a better editor. I can become such a better interviewer. I can become so much better in so many different ways. And if I stop now on Radio and Television 2, there's no way that I will succeed and get to the level that I need to get in order to pursue my future career.
Although the time has passed to sign up for new classes, keep Studio 415 and the entire program in mind when the time comes to sign up for new classes. And the fresh faces for next year will not be the only new thing in the program. Starting next year, some courses will be given new names for future years. So if you're looking for Radio and Television 1, look for AV Production Essentials and Principles of Broadcasting. And for one more year, Radio and Television 2 will remain Studio 415. Johnson believes everyone has a story to tell, and it's up to the students who take this class to tell those stories that you hear every week. For Studio 415, I'm Brendan Mullet.
According to judyshouse.org, an estimated 5.6 million children in the United States will experience the death of a parent or sibling by the age of 18. And while this statistic will persist, there is hope.
Erin's House for Grieving Children is an organization that strives to create a safe space for these kids. I decided to take a look into what Erin's House does and how they are building such a strong community.
Welcome to Erin's House, an organization that provides support for children, teens, and their families who have experienced a death. Located at 5670 YMCA Park Drive West in Fort Wayne, Erin's House has been providing a safe and loving environment for grieving children since 1993. But the origins of Erin's House began before then, in 1989, when Erin Farrell, a girl who wasn't even 6 years old, died suddenly of unknown causes. Her passing yielded grief on the entirety of the Farrell family. Erin's parents received tons of support from the community, however, there wasn't much available for Erin's brother and sister. Some friends of the Farrell family recognized this and began research on grief support for children. And within a couple of years, were given a grant and got support from Fort Wayne to start a child's grief organization. Since then, Erin's House has evolved and grown in countless ways, and one of those ways is through its volunteer and staff work. Ellen Remke, the volunteer director of Erin's House, notes that when finding volunteers, she looks for passion.
Just train and bring in volunteers who are passionate about working with children and allowing children to go ahead and work through their grief in their own time frame and in their own way. So a lot of my responsibilities revolve around those volunteers that work directly with the kids in their group.
During support group sessions, kids are open to a variety of ways to find an output for their grief. Like, for example, many rooms are given a specific theme, like a gymnasium or under the sea theme, and even a hospital room theme. These rooms all have activities for the kids to engage in, such as Jenga towers, mini games, and role play. Like, the hospital-themed room is for kids who may have experienced a death in the hospital or hospital room. Kids are allowed to then role play as doctors or patients to find that hospitals aren't always a place of grief. Ellie Dart, a volunteer group facilitator, recognizes how important a compassionate community like this is.
It's so important to have resources for children who are grieving because it can be a really isolating and lonely time period in their life. And so being able to have such a great community resource for them is just really important to me. And I think it really brings them joy seeing that other people are going through something similar.
And now, thanks to the faculty and those affected, Erin's house has been able to build a loving community around it. When asked what singular word best describes Erin's house, Dart had this to say.
Caring. I think I have not met one person who has not been open and caring for everyone here, and so it makes it feel so safe here for both the volunteers and the employees and the children who are here.
If you'd like to help build a community of growth and love here at Erin's House, you can apply online at erinshouse.org to become a volunteer. They're always looking for new ways to grow their community, so feel free to look online. For Studio 415, I'm Evan Bushman.
Commons Questions is back with another episode, today's being the 15th episode this year.
That's right, Evan. Patrick Wargo and I went looking to see if students could tell us what a seven-sided shape is called and if naps should be added to the curriculum here at CHS.
Hi, welcome back to Chargers Challenge. What?
Charger Challenge. Yes, it's a Charger Challenge. It's Commons Questions. Just say, hi, welcome back to Charger Challenge, and then I'll just pop it.
Welcome back to Commons Questions, and I'm your host.
I'm your host, Patrick Wargo. Let's get into it. Boom. What is a seven-sided shape called?
Octagon.
Wrong, it's a septagon.
Does it have a name?
Yeah, it does.
7? Is it 5 polygon? Yeah.
No, it's not a hexagon. No idea.
No idea. Okay.
No idea.
Doesn't exist.
Septagon?
Yeah, septagon. Good job.
Right?
Yeah, you're right.
I have never heard of a seven-sided shape in my
Never?
entire... No.
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Do you want to guess?
Nope.
It's not a square, is it?
I wouldn't say it's a square.
Oh, it's a cube.
A seven-sided shape?
No.
Excuse me.
You already asked me.
Oh, I already asked you?
Yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Food.
Food in general?
No, that's dumb. That's a dumb answer.
Do you want me to like come up to you? And, oh, hey, Mr. McFerrin.
Hi, Patrick.
I don't know. Probably dirt.
Dirt? You've eaten dirt? Did it taste good?
I don't know how to describe dirt. It's like rocks, sand.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Snake.
Snake? Was that good?
No, it was. I don't know. It was actually in a soup, and it was cooked with everything else, so it tasted like chicken.
They're just okay. Snakes taste like chicken. Write that down.
Mac and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
It's awful. It tastes awful. It's not even a noodle.
Paper, probably?
Paper.
Yeah.
Yeah? Did that taste good?
No.
You're like, you hate mac and cheese?
It's the worst food ever invented. My opinion, worst food ever invented. By far. Not even close.
Really? By far?
Not even close. Not even close. It's not food. Not food.
Should nap time be reintroduced into the school schedule?
I think nap time does wonders to students. I think nap time is very healthy and it needs to be incorporated into the school curriculum.
Wow, how well spoken of you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Why?
because I like to take naps.
You like to take naps? Mm-hmm. Everybody loves naps. Oh, bring them back. Come on.
Think, if we could sleep during the school day, then we wouldn't have to work. Okay, goodbye.
All right, everyone, this has been Commons Questions. I'm your host, Patrick Wargo. Remember to keep leaving your suggestions down in the description. Back to you guys in the studio.
Spring has finally sprung, and our April showers are sure to bring Mayflowers.
That's right, Evan. Studio 415 reporter Robert Shear went in search of some early blooming flowers and found an entire garden. And he joins us live in the studio with his report.
Thank you, Allie and Evan. An oasis in the heart of downtown Fort Wayne, the Follinger-Fryman Botanical Conservatory features lush gardens and a cascading waterfall. But it's the 4 seasonal exhibits that keep visitors coming back time and time again.
In downtown Fort Wayne, on the corner of Calhoun Street and Jefferson Boulevard, is the Botanical Conservatory. A relatively large facility, the Botanical Conservatory features 3 separate greenhouse conservatories, as well as their front lobby and office rooms. For 39 years, this conservatory has used its 24,500 square feet of indoor garden space to showcase 1,000 different plants and 72 different types of cactus. The conservatory's lobby exhibits an assortment of plants and flowers. Right in this area is their front desk where you can purchase a ticket and their gift shop where you can buy trinkets, toys, and plants. On your way to the first greenhouse, you will pass by the Botanical's conference rooms. On certain days, there will be classes or events held in these, such as their Tai Chi class. The greenhouses are kept at a specific temperature. Supervisor of Horticulture, Gilbert Young, explains the intention of this process and describes the purpose of the garden's plants.
So horticulture is the cultivation of plants for food and ornamental purposes. So specifically here, it's mainly for ornamental purposes. So, and conservatory is a special place where cultivate plants under glass. So you have plants that wouldn't otherwise grow in the region they're existing. So you have a lot of tropical plants and desert plants that wouldn't survive outside here. So it's a way to showcase plants that are really unique in the world.
The first greenhouse has a theme that changes every 3 months. The theme, up until April 23rd, is the circus. The current theme adds a tent with hoops, various hedges styled as circus animals, as well as an assortment of flowers. After April 23rd, the theme will be a live butterfly exhibit, which the Botanical Conservatory does every spring. Opening the doors to the second greenhouse, you'll feel a rush of humid air, as above you is a large tree that creates a canopy, and to your right there's a stone cliff that produces a waterfall. This waterfall leads to pools and streams throughout the rest of the room, some of which used to house koi fish. The conservatory houses a diverse selection of tropical plants such as a banana tree, a cocoa tree, and the bird of paradise. This room especially shows the takeover of plant life, not only with its large amount of green on the ground, but the vines and various plants that manage to climb up the walls. Opening the doors to the third garden, you will find a hot desert and a surprising amount of plants that manage to survive out in its harsh conditions, a large sum being cactus. You'll want to be careful in this room, as each plant at the Botanical Conservatory is real, which means these cacti mean business for anyone that would fall on them. This room has simplicity to its design and features a wood awning as you walk in and various metal animals designed after desert life, such as coyotes and roadrunners. This ends the greenhouses, but not the tour, as there are 2 exits. These lead out into the Botanical Conservatory courtyard, which features a spacious design, statues, even more plants, and during warmer parts of the year, their modern-style fountain is running. The Botanical Conservatory has seen quite a few events, from music to weddings, in their courtyard, and has been a location for school field trips. If you would like to visit these beautiful gardens, the Botanical Conservatory has their own website, botanicalconservatory.org, where you can see their opening hours, their closing hours, and whatever events are going on. For Studio 415, I'm Robert Shear.
The Botanical Garden is not the only downtown attraction that you can visit this spring.
That's right, Allie. This year, the Fort Wayne Ballet is celebrating new beginnings with an upcoming production of a timeless classic. Studio 415 reporter Harrison Rudolph joins us live and has more on the story.
Thanks, Evan and Allie. The Fort Wayne Ballet is Indiana's only professional ballet company. The ballet has 3 main stage performances at the Arts United Center downtown, and this spring, the company will be performing Sleeping Beauty.
Celebrating their 65th season, the Fort Wayne Ballet is staging a production of Tchaikovsky's Sleeping Beauty for their annual spring production. The Fort Wayne Ballet dedicates hundreds of hours to perfect their interpretation of this classic story while staying true to the 1890 production. 5 to 6 days a week, the professional company of 35 dancers takes class and rehearses from 9 a.m. to 4 in preparation for their performances. Karen Gibbons Brown, the Fort Wayne Ballet's artistic director, goes into detail about what it takes to be a professional dancer.
You always take class every day, no matter, to keep your body or your instrument in shape. Then there's a short break. There is a 2-hour rehearsal period after that with a break at the hour. You have a lunch, and then you have sometimes 3 or 4 more hours of rehearsal. And then oftentimes dancers come and take a second class in the evening.
The 4-act, 3.5-hour production, including intermissions, will be performed alongside the Fort Wayne Philharmonic, bringing every aspect of the live theater to the table. For those who have yet to see a classical ballet production, the entire performance is done without words or speaking. relying on the dancers' movement and the music to convey the story and the action. Company dancer David Claypool comments that this aspect of the performance is crucial to the art.
Also, the performance quality. You have to be able to relate to your audience members and get across the emotions of the particular pieces, be it from extremely happy and vibrant to something that might be very sad, and really trying to get that across to somebody on stage with both your movement quality and your expression.
If you're interested in the Fort Wayne Ballet, make sure to get your tickets on their website, fortwayneballet.org, and for the performances this weekend, the 22nd to the 24th. For Studio 415, I'm Harrison Rudolph.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching.
If you have a story idea, please let us know.
For all of us here at Studio 415,
have a great week, Carroll.
Sunny days and friendly smiles, walk the halls with me. Studio 415.